Hey everybody, it's Matt with Details by Matt LLC. Today I'm going to walk you through doing a boat job. I'm going to detail a boat. I'm going to walk you through some best practices, and then we're going to talk about setting expectations with customers. We're going to cover a lot. So if you're thinking about being a boat detailer or including that into your services, we're going to go over everything you need to know to do a boat detail. And if you're watching this and you like seeing boat details done, you're going to see how they're done. If you a customer or potential client, you can see what all is involved. Right now, I'm just checking it out. What I like to do first is take some evidence, whether it's the page of the boat, and hop up in it and really check things out. One of the first things I did was checked out the top side. And just to clarify, top side is where I'm at right here. I'm starting at the forward, and I guess now is a good time to point out some of the parts of both. You have the top side where I'm at the forward, back is the aft. So you have everything from the forward to the aft clean on the top side. He's not inside of the boat. Some bigger boats have inside cabins where they have like a kitchen area, possibly a bedroom, pulling on the sides of the boat. That would be inside the cabin. However, we're not inside a cabin. We're on the top side of the boat. Everything above the rub rail, as you see around the sides there, that is the gunnel rail. Sometimes people call it the gun whale, but it's the gunnel rail, and that rub rail divides over the hull. Best practices, pumps loose, take loose, opens, open. Because you only have one area that will pop up, and that's going to be that one area that the customer will check out, didn't do, and that's what they'll base the job off of. You might do a phenomenal job, but you are a detailer. So if you're getting ready to do a boat detail, get into the details. So right here, using a pressure washer. You don't have to use a pressure washer. Well, there's some do's and don'ts about pressure washers. First of all of the vinyl and the seating areas and stuff like that, if you want to stay up off that, you can't really get a really vivid, uh, can't really see all that well how close I'm getting with the pressure washer. But I will tell you this, get good at staying up off the vinyl seating. Or sometimes they'll have something called sealant, which is a little foam type of material on the swim platform, or sometimes you have it in the main walkways. But stay up off of that. Yeah, sealant cannot have, which by the way, this boat does not have. But you want to stay up off sealant with the pressure washer, and just use your common sense around the speakers. Stay up off of those. Make sure you hold the pressure washer back, depending on the strength of your pressure washer. Know your equipment, how strong it is, but stay up off of it because you don't want to damage any speakers or anything like that on there, because you can and you will if it gets worse. Right here, I'm using a magic eraser with some boat cleaner. And the best way to get in all of the surfaces, like right there, I'm in a little crevice, and then I'm going to want to get up underneath that seat as far as I can. So just good old-fashioned elbow grease is the best way to do that. And tackling these stains, some stains will just not come off, but work them the best you can, so that when the customer lifts that seat later, he's going to be able to tell, he or she will be able to tell that tackle that area and it's as clean as it's going to get. One of the most important things for a boat owner is maintaining the longevity of their boat. Some of those strategies include maintaining the lubricity of all of the vinyl surfaces. So after we get done, it's important to clean it, or if you have a good soap you like using that has that built in, but make sure the seats are conditioned. Take up all the carpet. I'm not a big fan of carpet in boats. I started my boat detailing business in Florida, so a lot of those boats down there do not have carpet, and so maybe I'm just used to that, but I think carpet's kind of silly to have in boats because they're problematic. They get dirty if the boat owner doesn't maintain getting their boat cleaned often. Then you're likely to run into a lot of pond scum that's built up, possibly mold, or things like that. Right there where I'm scrubbing is a non-slip surface, which is nice to walk on, and it doesn't allow somebody to slip, hence the name, the non-slip surface. Those surfaces you can't really get wax to adhere to. You can try, but that's where paste wax will fail. So for those surfaces, make sure you're using some sort of spray wax. There's a lot of spray waxes on the market these days. So what you want to do is just pick the one that you like the best, that performs well. And as you do maintenance details on these boats, you're gonna start to get a feel for which waxes hold up best and things like that. So hundreds to choose from. I usually use hundreds of them. I like using certain ones. And I will say this, different brands have different strength. And what I mean is so for example, McGuire's, I do not like their boat compound. Not saying I never use it, but if you run into an oxidized boat, you can get Aqua Buff on Amazon, or if you're in Florida, you can drive to St. Pete, and I don't know the name of the place right off the top of my head where I used to get that, but Aqua Buff you can buy, and I think you just buy it in buckets, like half gallon, quart or two, or something like that. But it's not in the small bottles. The problem with compounds for McGuire's is it dries out really quick. So if you're just starting out, I would get a buffer from Harbor Freight. Don't jump straight into anything expensive. So if you're gonna get a buffer, get one from Harbor Freight, something affordable, and a wool pad, and insert that. Wool pads, by the way, are good on gel coat. Do not use them on an RV or clear coat. Back to our project here. As far as your spray products go, McGuire's is pretty good for that. Cerakote is a product that I've been using lately. Not a big fan of the chemical guys stuff, but Lucas makes some really good waxes, and they hold up really good on boats. I've always been a fan of the Seal and Shine. made by Turtle Wax. It's a little bit more pricey, but it holds up. It's more of a sealant than a wax, but it holds up and will add some great protection. As far as these vinyl areas that I'm working on right here towards the aft, is you can use about anything to maintain the lubricity, which that accomplishes what we're accomplish for the customer, maintaining longevity. To make sure all these are nice and conditioned after you clean them up. And that way the sun doesn't dry them out. So as I continue here, I've got the magic eraser going. By the way, you can get magic erasers in bulk for pretty cheap. But this is a little pro tip for you. Just stick with more pricey ones, the actual magic eraser brand. And they've actually got some bigger ones. I don't really like using the bigger ones, but they're sturdy and they won't start flaking off as much. That's another thing in the butt, because, and you're gonna find that you want to put some strength behind it. Really get in there and scrub, but at the same time, you'll find your own technique. It's pressure. These magic erasers will start to crumble, and I don't know what it is, but I've worked with several different employees over the years, and some people just don't have good luck with magic erasers. They'll go through a whole box of magic erasers, and I'm still working on my first one. But anyway, let's take a look at what I'm doing here. This is really important, because when I take these seats out, I want to take the seat out and set it aside, get them clean, set them aside, and then wash the area where the seat goes and then put it back. But I want to make sure to get in there and make sure the compartment is cleaned out and make sure the ledges are good and wiped down. Turn the seat. These magic erasers will get in that stitching area a lot better than anything else. And that's going to make a huge difference for the way it looks after you're done. Because after you're done, you want to be able to pick those up and not see like a stain or a rust stain or something like that around that stitch that's built up and stuck in it. So that's another good strategy here with my combination in between pressure washer and the magic eraser. So also, when you're on the top side, make sure you work from top down. Wipe down those rails on the riveting top. You can see their cannonball. It's really good for foam cannons if you're going to use it both carry, which I did not on this project, but it is a really thick soap to put in your foam cannon. You're going to love that. See these little marks right here? You can get a good shot of the hull right here, but magic eraser just takes some of these marks, like places that's marred on there, just takes it right off. But pressure washer is great off these areas back here. And this, you can tell, was really dirty back here right above the transom on this swing deck platform. And it just so happens that this swim deck has a really durable type of rubber matting back here. So you can really get in there with pressure washer, which is nice. Like I mentioned earlier, that swim deck material, you got to stay up off of with the pressure washer, damage it. But you can get in here with this rubber type material and just kind of move your pressure washer like it makes sense, point it one direction, and keep on pushing that dirt and grime off to the port side. And then when you switch to the other one, push it off the starboard side, and so on. So after you've got that, a lot of the pressure wash get in there with your magic eraser and soap and just give it a good clean and get it all knocked out. Got the top side mostly done here. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to get in here and give it a light spray with the wax and make sure everything is wiped down and make sure that I didn't miss anything. Take a good look at the bimini top and do a good once over all around the top side here. And make sure that all the little crevices are not forgotten. So now that I've got most of the carpet snapped back in place, we're still checking it out. And I'm going to take this moment to go over a few things with you. Now, when somebody else goes to talk to your customer about bidding this boat job, or suppose they're shopping around, you're going to be the one to tell them everything that I just told you. Name your products and go through it step by step, what you're going to offer. And that's going to sabotage your competition because somebody else is just going to say, yeah, here's your price. But you're not going to do that. And after they talk to several other people that just fire off a price, they're going to come back to you because you've established exactly what you're going to do. And what you're going to do is exactly what you tell the customer you're going to do. And so there is no gray area. And they're looking at what you're looking at right now, a pretty finished product, which is exactly what you said you were going to do. So thanks for hanging out with me on this video. And this has been a cool transformation. Details by Matt LLC.